Okay, I'm just going to do a short video on the Practice Tech 2 activity. If you need help, you can always watch this short video. You're going to watch my demonstrations as usual. You're going to get these original images from below, and you're going to open up Photoshop and a brand new document. File New. Go to Photo Sizes, please. Portrait 5x7, 300 resolution. Portrait 5x7. Transparent background, boom, boom. Move your internet window over, and you can drag these two images right into the document. Okay, we're done with the internet for now, so I'll put our wiki space away. Move this in the center. I'm going to scale the leaves, okay? I'm going to transform them and scale them, and I'm going to hold the Shift key down on my keyboard and pull out one of the corners. Okay, not this one. Any of the corners. Alright, bigger than my face. A little bigger. Alright, I'm going to hit enter. Alright, I'm going to turn this off right now, and I'm going to do a selection on my face. I'm going to teach you what else the the lasso tool is good for. I'm going to do a quick selection around the bottom of my chin, up the side of my ear, and quickly around like this. Alright. I'm going to zoom in a bit so you can see this. Now you can manipulate your selection and change it. Now I didn't do a very good job here, so maybe I want to add to my selection, so I'm going to hold Shift down and a little plus sign comes up there. Alright? And I'm just going to add to that selection and add that in. Okay. Get that too. I want to subtract the mouth. I don't want the mouth to be in the selection. And I actually don't want this little corner to be in there. So I'm going to hold down Option, and I'm just going to drag a little loop around like that, and that will subtract that in. Okay, and I'm going to trace carefully around the lips. And now I want you guys to do a better job than this, but okay, and there. So that means that this area is out of the selection. Alright? Now, if you spent some time doing a really good selection, like really following the lines of my face, you would want to save it. So I'm going to actually put a feather on this selection. So anything to do with selecting is under the word select, and under modify, and I'm going to feather this. I'm going to feather it by about 5 pixels. Okay? Hit OK. I'm going to inverse the selection, which is, where is it now? There it is. Okay, and I'm now going to save the selection, and I'm going to call it face. Okay, and hit OK. Now I could deselect now and it disappears, but I could bring it back by going under select and loading it in there. Okay, and what did I call it? I called it face. There it is. Boom, boom. Hit OK. It's back. I'm going to bring this big piece back, and I'm going to hit delete now, and I end up with something like this. This is why I subtracted the selection out of here, because I didn't want this leaf pattern to go on my face. Right? So I'm now going to deselect, Command D, or Apple D, depending on what kind of keyboard you have, and I'm going to duplicate this layer. Okay? I have 2 leaf layers now. 1, 2. They're identical. This is where you want to play around with this flyout menu. These are your opacities. Well, not opacities, but your overlays. And you can have different kinds of overlays. So I'm going to go to the bottom one, and I'm going to put it on saturation. And then I'm going to go to the top one, and I'm going to try overlay. It's a little bit bright, so maybe soft light. Okay. And then I'm going to work with the opacity right up here where it says 100%. I'm going to crank this down. And I'm going to go to the bottom one. Now remember, there's 2 of them stacked on top of each other. 1, 2. And I'm now going to crank that one down a bit. I want my skin to show through, so it looks like this tattoo is sitting on my face. Right? Now there's other things you can do with this tutorial. You can add a brand new layer. I've got a new layer at the top here. I'm going to call this eyes. And I'm going to do a selection around my eyes. I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see. Whoa, too much, Mr. Tatum. But you need to see this up close. So I'm going to just trace around my eyes like this. I'm going to hold down Option, and I'm going to subtract the pupil out as best I can. Let's go a little bigger there and see if I can get something better. Okay, I'm going to feather it, select, feather, where is it? Feather it maybe like by 2 pixels. Okay, I'm going to fill it. Now I'm going to make sure this layer is selected, the eye layer, and I'm actually going to fill it with a color. I'm going to fill it with violet because I want violet eyes. Use the paint bucket. It's this guy right here. Right, I'm going to deselect. Now that's pretty heavy and looks pretty phony. However, I can use an overlay or I can just use my opacity to crank it down to maybe like 25%. And then I'll zoom back out and then it doesn't look too bad. I mean, it's a little bright, so let's take it down a little farther. There, I've changed the color of my eye to a violet eye. There's many other things you can do here. You can change the teeth. You can use the magic wand to select the teeth, or you can draw around them. This is what they do in magazines. Nobody has that white of teeth naturally, unless you're really lucky, or you don't drink coffee, and you're a little bit younger. So you want to get, I'm holding shift down to get the selection of the teeth here. Now, my tolerance is at 55 with the magic wand. It's too high, so I'm going to bring it down to 20. Try again. Hold down shift. You don't really want to get the gums in there because we don't want to paint the gums white. That will look weird. Alright. Keep clicking until you get what you want. And you can always go back a step in your selection by going Command Z. Alright, let's see how I did there. Alright, I kind of got some of the gums in there, but maybe that, let's get that last tooth back there. Alright, so I'm going to copy that layer, edit, copy, edit, paste, and now I've got another layer here. The teeth are there. I'm going to call them teeth. Okay, and I'm now going to go up under Image, Adjustments, and I'm going to do Hue and Saturation. I'm going to pull all the color out, so they kind of go bluish looking, and then I'm going to pump up the lightness. But you know what I didn't do? Is I didn't feather the edge, so now I've got this really harsh edge, so I'm going to cancel that. And what can I do? I'd have to do the selection again. So I'm going to leave it for now because this video is getting up to 8 minutes, but let's just do a little bit of adjustments. I know I can get around with not feathering. So let's take all the color out. Let's pump up the lightness. Okay, it looks a little crazy, I know. Hit OK, but bear with me. I'm going to turn down the opacity on these teeth. Like, this is a separate layer. So what if I just merge the 2 layers together by turning the opacity down? So now this is before and then after. This is a little bit brighter, okay? So I'll stop my video now. We're at about 8 minutes.